Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Donna E. Knight, and I am so glad that you are here with me today, and I am glad to bring to you another sophisticated video. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the fastest way to change your life. If you have something in your life that you want to change, or you just want to change your life just in general, today we're going to talk about the fastest way to do that. So I want you guys to stick around and we will be right back. All right, we are back. And again, I'm glad that you are here with me today. Look, before we dig in, first things first, I want you guys to click the subscribe button, okay? I want you guys to share the video, okay? And I will like it if you guys will like the video. I need to get my likes up. So if you like the content that we're sharing today, if you think that some of it registers with you and you find it helpful, please hit the like button and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, so let's just face it. No matter how many things you get accomplished in life, you always can seem to find ways to improve, right? Nobody typically wants to be stuck doing the same thing, year after year, day after day, and never really making any changes or any progress in your life. Life is all about evolution. People feel like they have to evolve because the world around you evolves. People around you evolve, people change, and so that gives each person their own desire to want to change or evolve their own life. That is the best feeling a person can have, is the need and the desire to want to evolve. The best feeling you can have. But the next perplexing question or perplexing thing is, how do you do it? How do you evolve? Because a lot of times in life, people give you flack and you hear chitter chatter when you start changing and trying to evolve. People will say things like, oh, they're changing, they're not the same as they used to be, and it starts making you feel bad or as if change is something that is negative. Well, that is not the case. Change is not negative. Change is very good. But what is the fastest way to change and make a evolution or evolve in your life? What's the fastest way to do it? So here's the thing. What do we have to do to change? You must first begin to change your mind. It's just that simple. It starts with a mental shift. It's just that exciting. And it's just that easy. Everything starts with a mental change. So in order to make fundamental changes in your life and do the things that you want to do or accomplish things that you want to accomplish, you must first change mentally. Okay, so the mind shift and change is pretty much an inevitable process that's going to occur in life. It is our job to make sure that this process occurs in a way that we become better people and not change for the worse. Because you're going to change, but how are you going to change? It's up to you. It's up to you and what you do to support your change. Now, I wrote a book called Unlock the Mystery of Love. And in this book, I put some great references in here about change. We often hear about this thing called the 7-year itch. So the researcher Rudolf Steiner, he's an Australian philosopher and researcher, and he has statistics that support that people do change every 7 years. That people go through a universal shift and a change that is controlled somewhat by the cosmos, and people change. They go through a change every 7 years. He does say, interestingly enough, he says from 21 to 42 years old, which is a very interesting age for me. I fall in that age range. This is an area associated with Mars. This is when the soul takes the opportunity to achieve a higher state of consciousness called the spirit self. So when we're in this age range, we are actually trying, or the physical body and the spirit being, which may be conflicting, you never know, are actually trying to make a change to become this higher spiritual self. So how do we support that? How do we support this spiritual change that is being called into action by the universe? How do we support that change and become what God is calling us to be? How do we do that? Okay, one thing that may hinder us from making the most of this change is by resisting it. You know, some of us may start feeling a certain kind of way, having certain emotions, not realizing this is a metamorphosis that is occurring because you're a human being that is supposed to go through this metamorphosis. Nobody teaches us that we're supposed to go through this. And you start resisting it. Like, I don't know what this is. No, I don't want to do that. And so you start resisting this change, and you start putting forth a more concrete desire to stay the same. Because that's what we're taught, is that you are supposed to stay the same, which is not true. We are designed to evolve, and we are designed to change. Okay, so that's one thing. That's one end of the spectrum that could happen, is resistance. Or on the other end of the spectrum, what could happen is that you don't resist it, and you do begin to change and to become this spiritual being and being led by your spiritual self, and you meet resistance from the outside. So you meet resistance from your peers. You meet resistance from your community. You meet resistance from people in your family, in your home. So it makes the change difficult because you're trying to change internally, but everything outside is resisting your change or trying to force you to stay where you are. So that puts a person in a very difficult situation, is that you personally resist the change yourself, or you meet resistance from your outside forces. So then what does a person do? 9 times out of 10, the person gives up. They give up and they just say, you know, I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to give up and I'm just going to stay where I am. And therein is how we miss our blessing, because we give in and give up. All right, so what I want to give you today, the knowledge that I want to impart on you today is, you know, not to give in to the desire to resist the change, okay? Don't give in to the internal resistance you may feel or the external resistance you may feel. Learn to process it. Learn to process it, because if you grow into the spiritual being that you're destined to be, you can take any negative thing and turn it into a positive. So even though you may get negative feedback from people, or you may hear comments or things like that you necessarily don't want to hear, or you didn't anticipate hearing, you can turn those things into a positive if you are open to the experience. So that's what I want you to do. Don't give up or throw your hands up or just give in. Process it so that you can move past it or jump over the hurdle and keep moving forward. Don't give in to the resistance to change. Meet the change head on. And then you need to key in to what your spiritual body is telling you. We are primal beings. We have natural instincts. Okay, if we learn to listen to these instincts and key in on what our natural instincts are guiding us to do, our godly instincts, we would be able to make the choices and the decisions that we need to make, because the instincts are there. You know, it's always a voice in the back of your head telling you something. There are keys that your spiritual person is trying to raise its voice. You know, your spirit being is trying to get you to hear what it's saying, but you're practicing drowning it out. You know, you could be drowning it out with alcohol. You could be drowning it out with other people. You're drowning that voice out when you need to be keying in on what that voice is saying to you and what it's trying to communicate. It can be throwing you a lot of signals and red flags, like people that you used to hang around. Maybe when you're around them now, they annoy you, drive you crazy. That is an inclination that you're changing. You're changing. You're not the same anymore, which is good. Embrace the change. Embrace the journey that your spirit is trying to take you on so that you can become what you're supposed to become. Because most people say, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But if you listen to what I'm saying to you in this video about your change and the change that occurs every 7 years, how to get quiet within yourself and listen to what your spirit is trying to tell you and embrace that change, it becomes easier to see what you're supposed to be doing. It becomes easier to see that. That's amazing. That's an amazing thing, to be able to listen to yourself and make decisions for yourself and not make decisions that your peers are telling you that you need to make. How do your peers know what's best for you? What God has for you, it's for you. Nobody else knows what you're supposed to be doing. But people they always have an opinion. And it's fine. It's okay to listen to opinions, but you can take negative things that people may be saying to you and you can turn that into a positive. You can turn that into the energy that can propel you forward, which is a good thing. Don't you think that, Ethan? Don't you think you can be whatever you want to be?
Yes. And Mason said I can't be a basketball player. They said I don't know if I'm going to be a basketball player, but I do know.
So once we begin to get happy about this change that is occurring, the next thing that we can do to really make our change powerful is to empower our mind. Don't allow your mind to be stagnant. Okay, keep your mind busy. First, realize that your mind is an electrical component of who you are. Just like your heart is electrical, your mind is electrical. It is producing neurons. It's producing energy right now. My mind is producing energy right now. So it's electrical, okay? So we have to give it something positive to process. So how can you empower your mind? Give it something positive to process. Say that with me. Something positive to process. So you can do that by going to seminars, listening to speakers that encourage you, reading books, which is one of my favorite things that I think everyone should do. Reading books. That is an amazing way to heighten your intellectual assets, is reading. You can listen to videos, YouTube videos of people that inspire you. Listen to YouTube videos of people that are doing what it is that you want to do. Everyone communicates on YouTube now. Like, YouTube is an amazing tool. It's an amazing educational tool because you can find more education on YouTube probably than you can by sitting in a classroom in college now, which is amazing. Like, there's no reason that you can't find an answer to anything you want to answer to because you have YouTube now. So listen to YouTube videos of people that you are aspiring to be alike. Pick their brain, see what they're saying on their YouTube channels and on their social media sites. Give your mind the tools that it needs to work with, okay? You can't become elevated without increasing your mind power. So once you increase your mind power, then what does that do for you? What does that do for you in the goals that you want to accomplish? Okay, well, it changes your perspective, okay? When you elevate your mind and you have the knowledge that you need to work with, that is one thing that I always believe in my career. When I go into a job, wherever it is, because I will change a job in a minute. When I go into a job, I'm going to go in well studied and well prepared with knowledge, because knowledge is the power. If you have the knowledge, you have the power. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I will research to the ends of the earth to find whatever information it is that I need to do whatever it is that I want to do. Knowledge is power. And your mind has the capability to hold an extreme amount of knowledge. We don't use a third of our mind. We don't use it to a third of what it's capable of doing. So don't think you're going to get mind fatigue, by reading and memorizing some things, because your mind is far more capable than you realize. So once you increase your mind power, you change your perspective. You are now the victor and no longer the victim, because you have the knowledge. The next thing that it does, it raises your awareness, and now you can perceive new ideas. So when you heighten the information in your mind, you also heighten your ability to create. You heighten your imagination. And now you can lay in your bed and think of things you never thought of before. You're like, man, if I had thought of that 5 years ago, man, I could have really got that stuff done. Well, the thing is, you weren't where you needed to be spiritually and psychologically 5 years ago. So the idea would have never come to you. But now that you're on a higher plane, you're operating and functioning on a higher level. Now these ideas, they're going to come to you now, because you have raised your awareness. You're in tune. You're in tune now. So these great and fabulous ideas and things that you can do, they're going to come to you. And now you can map out a way to get them done. And then lastly, why it's important to increase your mind power is it increases your imagination and ability to dream. So now you're a dreamer, and dreamers are people that get things done. Okay, dreamers are the people that create Apple. Those are dreamers. Those are the ones with the imagination. Steve Jobs thought about these type products long before anyone could even imagine holding a phone in your hand and talking to someone on it. He was just that much ahead. His imagination and his dreams he was just that in tune with it. That is a person that's living in their passion and operating in their true purpose. So that is where, and you have the same ability. Like we have the same exact ability to do the same thing. But we got to get in tune and get in line. And you have to do what's true to you, because everyone's path is completely different, and it's your job to discover what's for you. Everyone is different. Like Steve Jobs was in college and he was like, college doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for everyone. So everyone has a distinct path that they need to follow. Everyone is different. Everyone's personality is different. So, but however you need to get the information that you need to get to embrace your change and then heighten your mind power. Those are two things that you have to see about doing. And then you can realize your dreams. Okay, so I'm going to stop that there, because anything more is just going to be too much for this YouTube video, right? Oh, no. Okay, but the great thing is that you can access knowledge like this and much more in my Success Institute. I have the website here, secretstosuccess.thinkific.com. Mind Power class is going to be becoming available soon. The Mind Power class is going to be incredible, amazing. If you want more step-by-step guidance on how to make these spiritual shifts, how to make these psychological shifts, how to map out what it is that you need to process internally to get the block out of the way, for one thing, and to get in tune with who you are, the Mind Power class is going to be the class that is for you. You can enroll in that class now. So go to the website right here, secretstosuccess.thinkific.com. If there's more information you want about me, oh yes, you can visit my website, donnaeknight.com. There's more information out there about me, my other classes, coaching. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can go to my website and you can sign up. There are some free sessions out there, so go on there and check those out. I would love to have you be one of my great sunflowers. I would love to have you. Also, you can follow me on social media, on Instagram at Donna E. Knight. On Facebook at Donna E. Knight. Okay, you can do those things. Matter of fact, just go ahead when the video stops. Go ahead, go to IG and just follow me. Okay, isn't that easy enough? Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Also share, guys, and hit the notification button so you will get notifications when I post a new video. Okay, did you guys do all of those things? Of course you did. Okay, so I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope this video helped someone in an amazing way, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I am out of here.
Subscribe, comment, and hit the little bell.
You better do it. Ethan said so.
Notifications.
You better do it.
And go follow on IG.
You better do it.
Yeah. And go to her training website.
You better do it. Bye, y'all.